What is up, guys? Welcome back to the World of Vana'diel with another episode of Final Fantasy XI New Game Plus. I am your host, of course, Basic Guardian, and we're here in our lovely little Mog house in Beardtastic, and today's the day we're going to go unlock some Dragoons, so let's go get into it. Before we get too far into it, I want to thank this person right here, Atari, Mithra from Sandoria, who's hanging out in the Rancor Den. We chatted for a little bit, and they seem like a really cool person. They had wished me some well wishes while I was AFK the other day selling stuff in a bazaar. I really didn't think people were going to watch these as much as they have been, so it actually means a lot when you guys reach out to me. I really appreciate it, so thank you very much. I also want to give a thank you to someone named Edson. I think it's spelled like this. And someone named Agent Frog. They also gave me some well wishes while I was AFK. So, you know what? Whoop. Easy, Tiger. Easy there. Oh, Lord. Agent Fro4. Agent Frog. There we are. I really appreciate when you guys reach out to me. It's very meaningful. I'm glad that you guys are getting something out of this. Because I really didn't know if anybody was. It's just some guy playing Final Fantasy XI like it's, you know, the old days, sort of. This guy should be selling pickaxes, and if that's the case, we need one of those to go start on our Dragoon quest. Haha. I say one of those, but I'm going to buy like 5 just in case I break one, because I don't even remember if it's like a guaranteed thing when you're trying to harvest this egg. But regardless, we're on our way to Sandoria now, finally, at long last. What has it been? Like 2 weeks since we were last trying to do this Dragoon thing, but you know what? I'm trying my best. Oh, Lord, I hear a train. I don't know if you can hear the train, but if you can, I'm sorry. I like this guy's name. It's like murderer, but said phonetically. Murderer. Travel to Sandoria. Port Sandoria. Did I grab that? I did. All right. Alright, we're back in Port Sandoria. Now is the time to go find someone in one of these cargo rooms. That is who we need to talk to. Oh, wait. Is the Bonanza Moogle thing going on? Are we buying a Bonanza Pearl? I remember back in the day, these were always like, you know, they were giving away like relic weapons and stuff, and that was so cool. You could just like get an Aegis out of here. That was always awesome. Fast Blade 2. So there's a Rima version of the Fast Blade weapon skill. Damage 165, 30 dexterity, 40 accuracy. This is pretty nice. I mean, super generic, but it's pretty cool. Save the Queen 3. That sword model looks dope. I wonder what it looks like in-game. I'm sure it's probably in the model viewer, but... Cure potency plus 20%. Plus 10 enmity. You could probably end up holding hate just by legitimately using majesty and curing everybody. That's a pretty cool sword right there. Whoa. I'm super impressed with all of this. Increases physical damage limit based on enmity. What is that? Dude, what are these weapons? All of these are awesome. The reason why I'm liking these so much is because they're legitimately not weapons you can get any other way. Bro, a Tsusemi extends to an area of effect. So you could like give your party members extra shadows. That's so cool. Oh, I remember Zanmato. All these are so cool. I'm just nerding out over here. Don't mind me. You know what? All right, what's on the next page? Set the song effect duration for party members to 15 minutes. All songs plus 3. Gain an additional song effect. So if you're like a bard for life, this is a must-have, right? Like, that's so cool. Oh, I didn't even buy a pearl. I looked at all the prizes. I didn't buy a pearl. What am I doing? 200,000 gil? Ah! Something I didn't comment on while I was still on Beardtastic. Guys, look at all of these bonuses going right now. Vana'diel Douse with the May version update, the 19th anniversary Nomad Bonanza, the Adventure Gratitude campaign, A-Man Trove, Test Your Luck campaign, aka getting more silver vouchers for Trove, Mandragora Mania, Return Home to Vana'diel. Okay, so I'm sure that's a free login type of thing. The discount campaign, which I'm sure means they're selling the game for cheaper. The 2021 login campaign, meaning you're getting these login points. Experience Vanna Deal to the fullest campaign. I don't even know what that is. The Spring Alter Ego Expo. That's where all the alter egos are coming from. So, yeah, guys, if there was any time to get back into Final Fantasy, but now is a great time. The only downside, of course, is that this lines up with summertime. And, I'm someone who really enjoys hiking and stuff, so it's hard to get me to stay inside all summer. It was a little bit easier last year because, everything was locked down. But now that, we can actually get out there and do stuff, I kind of want to, go do some stuff. I think I'll log in with Guardian and have her go buy a pearl as well. Everyone's getting pearls. We're doing this thing proper. I know I've mentioned it somewhere else before, but I love Guardian because I leveled up this mule to 75 with no sub-job on Paladin, which was ridiculous and would have never happened back in the day, but it was just somewhere to send all of this crazy gear that used to be best in slot. That is not, obviously, once you move on to the 80-plus era of Final Fantasy. I'll leave it up to you, Moogle. 61. I've changed my mind. That seems better. 716? Sure. If it comes up 61, I'm going to be crying. All right. And then I'll have Guardian send the money over to Beardtastic, and then I'll switch over to Ragnarok and have her do the last one. All right. 200,000 gil off to Beardtastic. Sounds great. And then we will be done with that. How are my claymores selling? Am I making a good enterprise over here? Oh no! Claymores are getting sent back. Dang it! Well, I'll have to put those back up on the auction house. I can't believe that people are too lazy to go to Sandoria and buy it from a vendor for 2K instead of paying 40,000 for it. But you know what? It's how I used to make hundreds of thousands of gil back in the old days selling claymores when all the auction houses were split up. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, here's a problem. I don't know where the Bonanza Moogles are here in Windhurst. Port, maybe? So you might see my mule's name and just assume that I'm some sort of sexist pig and that this name just has to do with these. Ooh. But to be honest, it actually has nothing to do with that. It was a really dumb video I was making about what server was the best, and I was trying to make an argument for Asura actually being the best server, but I was basing that only on population, and yeah. And how I, had come upon this decision was making a mule on every individual server, and, just doing this, see all. And it would tell you at the bottom how many people were there. So I went to each individual server, and I would make a mule, and then type in see all. So what I had done was, just came up with something that was similar enough to the city or the server where I knew which server it was on. And for Ragnarok, I typed in Ragnarok, and I thought it was funny because it's a ridiculous name. Oh my god, those birds. But, yeah. And when I finally came back and brought this mule back to Asura, I just left it as Ragnarok. So it seems like a ridiculous name, but that's how that happened. Oh, Moogles, where are you? I'm literally going to have to look up where these Bonanza Moogles are. Lord almighty. They were in Port Windhurst. I'm just blind, apparently. All right. Okay, we need to head eastbound, where I just came from. Dang it. How did I miss those guys? I can see them right in front of me. I'm just blind. And I realize this has nothing to do with Beardtastic, but you know what? That is just the way that Final Fantasy works. You might start off trying to do something, and then you realize you got to do something else, and then you're off to the next thing, and you're super distracted, and you eventually get where you're trying to go, but sometimes it happens a little bit slower. But I've always found it amusing that people who tend to do like fan art of this stuff make them busty when really they're not at all. This isn't some sort of weird, anime. They're nice, realistic human proportions. Well, I mean, I guess, some people in real life are busty, but that's not the point. They made them more average, which I actually really respect because I appreciate that they're not some sort of crazy anime character trope like so, some other games. And yes, I appreciate a good anime waifu as much as the next guy, but good lord, I know all of the pervs and creeps would have just made these giant busty Mithra all over the place, and I would have been so tired of seeing it. I'm just so glad it's not a part of this game. That's all I can say, alright? I even heard a rumor that a new Dragoon appeared in Sandori, but no one has ever seen him. Some even say that it's Cyranoose, locked up in the dungeons. There's nothing to these rumors. If he was really a Dragoon, why would he be in the Wobblet? I always call it Wobblet, because, like, in French, O-U-I is oui, so wub. But I understand that if it's, really French, it's probably pronounced like oublié, right? Here, we're gonna bring up the Google Translate.
Oubliette. Oubliette. Oubliette.
So yeah, for years though, I just always call it Bostano Wobblet. Although, thanks to Google, now I know it's Chateau d'Oragi. Let me in. Let me in. I'm coming in. Okay, I believe the Wobblet is over here, down this hallway. Excuse me, sir. I've got a dungeon to creep into. Thank you very much. Ooh, it's spooky down here. It's so spooky. Cyranoose? No, you'll not find him here. He is dead. His soulmate was a beastmaster who somehow called forth a terrible creature and fled. His beast knocked down a gaping hole in the wall, so he was home free, but Cyranoose's body was found underneath the creature. It's too bad. We could have saved him if we got here sooner. Yeah, I know. Rahal was jealous of his friend Cyranoose for becoming a Dragoon. He set a trap for him and saw him thrown in this very dungeon. This is how Rahal, the Dragon Slayer tainted with Drake's blood, seized the office of General. You knights were left in the dark. What? Lies? All of it? Lies? Well then, why was Rahal always coming back to check on him? He was waiting for Cyranoose to kick the bucket, wasn't he? No, it cannot be. The only people who can become Dragon Slayers are those who truly hate them. They're not after treasure or jewels, they just want to exterminate them. And he couldn't wait to kill the dragons and dragoons. Ah ha ha ha. Why you? Watching that walk animation, that's probably a female elven that I just gave the deepest, burliest voice to, and that's hilarious. If you wish to learn of dragons, ask the archaeologist, Herus, in the cathedral. He should know all about their well of lore. That wasn't at all how that sentence went. Damn you, dyslexia. I really am dyslexic, though. Obviously, I do this kind of Let's Play series, so I just give live commentary here, but even all the rest of my videos, I've only scripted 2 of them. Of all the ones that might seem like they're scripted, they're not. But I struggle really bad trying to read black text on a white background, so if there's a way to change that in Word, feel free to let me know in the comments, but yeah, it's really hard for me to read black text on white backgrounds for whatever reason, and as a result, I don't like to write on Word or any, software program, any word processing program. That's why people are like, oh, your videos are so great, and I can just picture you being a big YouTuber. I've had that in a couple different videos I've made, and I'm just like, no, please. I don't want to be successful, man. I just like being entertaining to a small group of people who are interested in the same stuff I'm interested in. If I was ever to get serious about this, it would have to step up the quality, and I don't think I can physically do it. But yeah, sorry for the side tangent here. We need to go talk to the person in the cathedral. But yeah, my process for recording videos is super weird, like I said. For this type of stuff, if I'm reading off the screen, if I really flub lines, obviously you guys see that I just cut stuff out because it's super flubbed and I don't feel like re-recording it a bunch of times. But when I'm doing a video off the top of my head, or let me rephrase that. When I'm doing my other videos that might seem like they're scripted, they're not. Like I said, I've only scripted 2 videos on this entire channel. And I have like 8 or 9 of them that might seem like they have some sort of script, but they never do. It's literally just me talking off the top of my head and trying to communicate my point most effectively. But if I stumble over my own point, I'll just re-record it again. So if I said something like, you know, I really like dragons because they have big wings and they're just, you know, I really like dragons because they have big wings and they're just shiny and red. And you know what? I love big dragons that are shiny and red and just got that fire in their eyes. Like, that's literally my recording process. Like, I'll just keep re-recording stuff until I have it how I mostly want it. And then I'll delete all of the garbage takes on that. So yeah, recording those videos is a really long process, which is why I make far less of those than I do something like these New Game Pluses or something. Because I can't read very well, like legitimately. It's just the way my brain works. All right, we're looking for Morgine. Morgien? Aha! There you are. Hello, sir. Why, Sir Rahul, what gives us the honor of your presence here today? Nothing urgent, Doctor. I was just wondering if anything was peculiar. Any suspicious characters had been spotted in this area recently? No, nothing out of the ordinary, sir. I see. I just thought that maybe the body of, well, his body was, no. Carry on. Now that he is out of the way, where was I? You know what? Did I just see Rahul disappear too? Come on, Square Enix. You can't just make these characters disappear before they're even actually out of frame. Maybe it's because this game used to have a different aspect ratio or something, but that's lazy. I guarantee you I'm going to go back to the footage and see Rahul disappear. Anyways. Ah, yes, as I was saying, recently there's been a large drop in the number of dragons born in Vanadil. That is where you come in. There is a rumor that a wyvern has laid an egg in the maze of Shakrami. I would like you to excavate the egg and protect it from the dragon slayers. To prevent them from killing the wyvern while it's still young, we must get to the egg before they do. Sounds fairly straightforward. Let's get to Mosian on over to the maze of Shakrami. I also want to express how grateful I am that you guys are super patient with me in my video making process. Like, I just now figured out how you're supposed to properly place a pop stopper to avoid having so much mic blowout, you know, on the B's and the P's. I didn't realize you're supposed to place it like a ways away from the microphone. Otherwise, it doesn't really do anything. I'm just learning these things, so I hope the quality is improving slightly. I've never done this type of recording or anything in my entire life. I played in a band back in high school, but the mics we used for that were like Shure SM58s, which are on-stage microphones, the one with the big silver ball at the mic end of it that you've seen a million times. And those work way differently than this broadcasting condenser microphone. So yeah, I've never done YouTube or any type of recording before, so yeah, this is a total newbie idiot's job at putting forward any type of content. But like any skill, I suppose you get better over time. And that's ultimately why I'm making videos, is because I enjoy the process of it and I have fun with it. It is literally a hobby that I enjoy, is just assembling the stuff. I will say that the production of these is the easiest on the editing side, but the hardest on the production side. Because I literally have to do all of this stuff in real time and comment on it while I'm doing it. Whereas, like, the more constructed videos I have are definitely more, like, difficult in editing and you know, finding the right words to say and all that stuff, whereas assembling the clips and stuff is fairly simple over there. I know what I want and I go and get it and make it happen. So they're both easy and difficult in their own way, but I really enjoy the process a lot. It's actually really fun. But it's another reason why I don't ever want to get popular, like truly popular, which I know I won't in the Final Fantasy community. This is a super niche community. Even the biggest creators here have, like, what, 10,000 subscribers unless they've switched to another game, like Work to Game. He started off making content for this game, and now he's a really big, popular YouTuber because he started talking about other games like Final Fantasy 14 and stuff. But yeah, I know 11 is such a niche market that at best the most subscribers I could ever get here is like 10,000, and that's totally fine. I don't want to be popular by any means, so I don't want clout, I don't want internet fame. I just want to share my hobbies and passions with people who are interested in the same hobbies and passions. So yeah, that's my YouTube spiel right there. I've totally forgotten. I got to go back to the Moogles and pick up my my freaking Adamantoids mount. This Wyvern is cool, but not nearly as cool as riding around on a giant turtle. Now, what were these things, really? I've never thought about it really before, but there used to be creatures this big in this world, and they're just they're not even fossils. They're just straight up bones. They're just hanging out here. I don't think that works that way. I think fossils are like mostly rock. I don't think you could have actual preserved giant bones just exposed like this. I don't know. I'm not a archaeologist. I don't know. Or wait, paleontologist? Yeah. I don't know the reality of having giant exposed bones like that. Okay, we got the squad. Now, can I pay real money or do I need tabs? Well, it's only 5 tabs, but yes, I want sneak and invisible. Because I don't have any sneak or invisible powders and potions. So, okay, we're looking for excavation points. Hey, it's a combat. Looking for a point. Looking for a point. That's a fossil rock and not an excavation point. I've always liked their little bone huts. I don't know why. They make me happy. Something I've always found interesting about silent oil is I get the idea that if things are all lubricated, you're not going to be, you know, making sound, I guess, or whatever. But they make your footsteps sound, right? And if you had oil on the bottom of your feet, wouldn't you be too slippery and fall down? I don't know. Just saying. I mean, I'm glad that's not a mechanic, but, you know, it's a little weird. I also love that truss can't be aggroed, but it kind of ruins the immersion of using a sneak potion or a sneak oil, and your truss are still clomping around. But that's fine. It's whatever. Just gameplay things.
Nope.
So places like this and like the Dragoon mines and other locations around Vanadil, I don't know when they did it, but Square Enix went back in there and put some higher level monsters in there, which is cool and adds camp diversity and stuff, but it makes a lot of places way less safe now than they would have been when you're lower level. Like I said, I like the idea, but it definitely makes things more dangerous. I'm trying not to do this while I'm talking, because I'm sure that's annoying. Ping, 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 ping. But yes, a lot of people have been messaging me, or leaving comments more accurately, saying that they've just come back to Final Fantasy and they're loving it and they're glad to be back and yada yada. And all of that is really awesome. I'm super excited to hear that because we need as many people playing this game as possible, you know? Each less person that's playing is one more reason for Square Enix to shut the servers down. I know we're guaranteed to have them at least until next year for the 20th anniversary, but After that, I don't know what the future of Final Fantasy holds. I know they just announced they're doing some sort of like job progression system and whatever, so obviously it's probably got plans for something, some sort of HD remaster or something, but who's to say? I don't know. I can't speak to that. But I am happy to hear that you guys are having a good time with the game. I'm happy to hear that y'all are coming back and enjoying it and, you know, returning or starting fresh, and that's super awesome. Super happy for you. But I also feel a little bad because I'm not the best guide maker or anything, and I wish that I could provide people with a nice, clear, concise way of like what you should be doing to get yourself up to 99. But honestly, with that stuff, I think it's more about the journey and your experience of the journey, and you should have fun with it, you know? So I think telling people the most optimal way to play isn't really the right route to go. I'm going to go refresh my sneaking and viz from that Moogle and try to go down lower in the caves. I just saw it. Where is that? Ha ha ha. Luck be a lady. Are you the one? Are you the Wyvern Egg? Holy cow! We found it on the first try? Yes! Is that a guaranteed thing? I don't know. I don't care. We just got our Wyvern Egg. Right as I was about to leave and go refresh my stuff. That's awesome. That couldn't have happened at a better time. That's so great. Now where am I? Wait, is it this way is the exit? No, it's this way. Okay. All right. Now, yeah, we're on our way out. On to the next part of the quest. But yeah, I apologize that I'm not very much of a good guide maker. And I don't have a whole lot of suggestions on going from like, you know, 0 to 95 or whatever. I might make a leveling guide at some point. Just where I level, I guess. You'll probably just see that organically through my Beardtastic adventures, though. Because I have decided that I'm going to take Beardtastic all the way up to 99. So there is that. Maybe once I do all that, I'll just make a compilation. But in any case, I'm sorry that I'm not a better resource for y'all. Oh, I forgot to mention it. Yeah, the other day when I logged in to record footage for that Vanadil Football League thing, I got this Ekid ring, which you would get too if you just came back to the game right now, and this is like the best experience points ring you'll ever have. It's so good. It's such a huge bonus, and it refreshes every 2 hours. This thing is amazing. So, yeah, if you come back for like the next few weeks, you'll be able to get this ring. And it's, I mean, 30,000 bonus, usable every 2 hours. It's just rechargeable infinitely, 150% bonus. It's so fantastic. This thing is great. And definitely going to speed up the Beardtastic progression. Well, much shorter montages going forward. So yeah, I do apologize about not being a better resource for you guys as far as making guides and stuff like that goes. A guide that I have thought about making, though, is a way for a new and returning player, once they get up to 99, which, like I said, is pretty straightforward. And that would be a really long guide for me to make because I can't like show you all the examples on Beardtastic because I am leveling so slow on this. But realistically, if you play a lot, you know, a couple hours a day, every day, you could get to 99 within a week if you were dedicated to it. And once you get there, it's kind of like, well, where do you go from here? What gear should I buy? And that type of thing. And I've been thinking about making a guide about, you know, the first steps you should take once you get 99, you know, and how to get item level 119 gear in literally like 30 minutes of getting there. And I thought about making that guide. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I'd be happy to make that one because I can actually explain all of that stuff super quick. And once you have that item level 119 gear, I could do a introduction to Ambuscade, like, because Ambuscade is one of the best activities that you can get into, and it is a good prep for what to expect at endgame. But I will say, just right up front, that if you truly want to play the endgame in this game, if you really want to get into Dynamis Divergence and Omen and Odyssey and all these things, that journey for most characters is going to be at least 6 months of playing every day, like at least 4 hours a day, if you want to participate in the end game. And then if you want to play that as a paladin, I really hate to say, but it is like up to a 2-year journey for a paladin, because the requirements for a paladin at an endgame level are so high. They're so ridiculous beyond anything you might have remembered the game being as a paladin. If you're coming back to the game as a former paladin, just you have to change your expectations of your viability in endgame, because nowadays most people expect their tanks to be able to hold ridiculous amounts of hate. You have to get used to subbing blue mage as a job and or under paladin, and if not blue mage, then rune fencer, which is redundant and silly, and so many other things. Like, playing paladin at an endgame level is so different than just playing paladin. But don't be discouraged. You can do paladin warrior for tons of stuff. All of the if you're new or returning, you might not even know what I'm talking about here, but there's a place called Esha. There's Esha Zita and Esha Ruan Gardens, and they have reprised NMs that are new versions of old NMs. Like, you can fight the Sky Gods in Esha Zita, and you can fight the Sea Gods, what used to be what were they, jailers? Now they're wardens up in Esha Ruan. And it's like all the same old fights, but they've been redone different. Anyways, I've done all of those fights as a paladin warrior, because I had like a team of buddies and we were playing the game like how we used to play the game. And most people just don't play that way anymore. The way that people play now is much more of like zerging stuff. Like, people they don't have as much care into the way that they play and enmity management and stuff like this. They've just now say that paladins have to do as much damage as everybody else who's there, which is tough if you're, trying to do paladin warrior in super defensible gear. So yeah, long story short, if you are trying to come back to the game as a paladin, you can be a paladin warrior, but you just can't participate in the hardest endgame stuff. You can do pretty much everything else. So I'm in the middle of editing this, and I just realized it's already over half an hour long, and I've been trying to keep these around half an hour in length because I think that's a little bit more digestible for you and a little bit more manageable for me. So even though I already have all the footage, I'm actually going to cut this in half and release part 2 pretty soon, in the next couple of days. So you guys get another episode this week. But until then, I'm Basic Guardian, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching these. Toodaloo!
I squeeze the gas till my clips is done. Till my clips is done. I squeeze the gas till my